Hello. During my visit to Vienna, I was lucky enough to spend the whole day at Albertina Museum, and I was lucky enough also to view the photographs of Henry Peach Robinson. You may ask the question, who's Henry Peach Robinson? Well, let me tell you a little story. Henry Peach Robinson was a British portrait photographer who, having begun as a painter, was self-taught in the principles of combination printing. His first and most famous composite picture is Fading Out, which was made in 1858, in which a pale, dying young woman on a divan bed is tended to by two women, presumably family members, as a man stands at the window with his back to her and us. His anguished face, the picture suggests, too distress for us to bear. This is a wonderful example of compositive printing. Nowadays, you would use Photoshop. As a follower of the dark art of printing my own photographs, I had a go, and it's much harder than you would actually think. At the end of the day, you only put into it what you get out of it. In addition to his extensive photographic works, Robinson was actively involved in the era's theatrical debates surrounding photography. Robinson even went so far as to claim that photography was an art form equal to the classical mediums of oil painting and sculpture. While this idea is widely accepted today, making such a claim was even eccentric at the time, and remained controversial well into the 1970s. Robinson's first and most famous book, Pictorial Effect in Photography, refined this argument in several ways, primarily by encouraging photographers to be just as consciously aware of composition, contrast and colour, while framing and staging the image as a painter might in constructing an image on canvas. The book's title is also quite notably the first time the term pictorial is known to have been used in this way relative to photography, and is basis for the term pictorialism as it came to be defined today. While his aesthetic may strike a modern-day viewer as extremely conventional or even academic, Robinson was well known in his time for his non-traditional ideas, methods and subject matter. Unlike most other photographers of the Victorian era, he was more than happy to stage his outdoor scenes inside of a studio where he could completely control the light, the airflow, and the model. Indeed, rather than shooting real subjects in the field, he insisted hiring costume actors or bored socialite ladies to pose for his photographs. Because his goal was ultimately to produce photographs that mimicked paintings, he had no qualms about mixing the real and the artificial in order to achieve a pictorial effect. One of his early pictorial works, Somebody's Coming, which was made in 1861, won a silver medal at the Photographic Society of Scotland's 8th annual exhibition in 1864. Robinson carried on creating composite prints until 1864, at the age of 34, when the years of poisonous darkroom chemicals brought on a serious decline in health. Although he had no choice but to give up his studio, he stayed active in a world of photographic theory and continued to use the cut and paste method to create photo montages. It was also during this time that he wrote Pictorial Effect in Photography, which still remains an extremely relevant text to this day. By 1868, Robinson's health had improved to a point where he felt able to open a new studio and began composite printing again. In 1870, he was asked to take on the role of Vice President of the Royal Photographic Society, which he accepted, but resigned later as a result of disputes over aspects of photographic theory. He later joined a rival group calling itself a Linked Ring Society, and in 1900 was also elected an honorary member of the Royal Photographic Society. Soon afterward, Robinson succumbed to the toxic effects of the chemicals in the studio and died in early 1901.